Hello folks, I'm back. I know it's been a while. I've been traveling a lot this summer, and usually I've been trying to post videos every day, and I know the last 2 weeks I haven't posted a video, which has been a while, and that's because I was backpacking in California, by the way, in Sierra Nevada. I went to Yosemite. It was so much fun, and sorry I haven't updated you guys on that, but got back yesterday, and yeah, I came down here to the capital to shoot another video. So yeah, I'm back, and funny enough, I'm going to be traveling again tomorrow, leaving tomorrow, going to the Northeast, and yeah, I'll be keeping you guys updated on that. But lots of travel this summer, and very busy, but I'm back and here to make some videos. So sorry that I was away for a while on that backpacking trip, but I'm here now. So wanted to make a video on this very special tree here at the United States Capitol. So the Capitol is, you know, obviously an incredibly stunning building, and it's surrounded by basically what's like an arboretum, like tons and tons of magnificent trees, and they're all labeled and everything. So it's basically got a whole arboretum around it, and it's super cool. And you know, of the more striking and unusual trees, I guess you could say, here are these magnificent giant sequoias. There's two of them that I know of here, and here's one of them. It's really beautiful. So you can see the U.S. Capitol Grounds commemorative tree, giant sequoia, planted by the Cherokee Indian Nation, celebrating the birth of Sequoia, who I believe created the Cherokee language, or the Cherokee writing system. So this is a gift from the Cherokee Indian Nation, and it's just a spectacular tree. It's been doing well. You can see, obviously, this isn't the ideal conditions for it. Obviously, DC has a very different climate than where it grows, and you can see it's suffered a little bit here. You can see just a little browning on the leaves, but overall it's doing really well, and this is just a magnificent tree. Again, this was planted in 1966. I don't know how big it was then, but they are fairly slow growers, and they take, you know, centuries to reach maturity. So this is obviously a baby sequoia, basically. So very small and young compared to the ones that I saw. I actually went to a grove called Tuolumne Grove in Yosemite on my trip, and I got to see some of the massive, like 250-foot giant sequoias, and it was just insane. These trees are literally unbelievable. I mean, it was just breathtaking. And obviously seeing this now, it looks absolutely tiny, but it's still a very beautiful tree, and I want to come down here and share this with you guys, because you know, these are fairly rare trees in DC. There's one that was cut down with the arboretum recently. I think it just died. There's a little shoot of English ivy, gonna help the Capitol grounds out by removing that. If you see English ivy, definitely remove it. It's an invasive species around here, but you can see lots of massive southern magnolias there. Again, very common sight around here. They've got lots planted. Nice yucca there, and this is the Senate here, and then the House of Representatives on the other side. This is the Capitol building right there, and beautiful giant sequoia. So that's it's got a good, probably at least 50-60 feet on it, but it's just a very small tree compared to the ones out west in California. So yeah, these trees were planted a while ago. There's another one here which is larger. I believe this one was planted by the California, I think it was planted by like a California congressman, and I think it was planted around 1900, so it's a bit bigger, and very beautiful tree. But yeah, let's go over and look at it. So giant sequoias, you know, I was sort of inspired to come here after my trip that I just took, because got to see them growing wild. I only got to see one grove of giant sequoias with about like 6 mature trees. And there's only about 65 or 75 groves of giant sequoias out there, which may sound like a lot, but when like the grove that I went to, for example, has only 6 mature trees, basically 6 sequoias, that's really nothing. It's a lot of a smaller range, a much smaller range than that of coast redwood, Sequoia sempervirens, and so yeah, it's got a much smaller range, and because of its sort of isolation, it requires it used to grow like to Idaho and Nevada millions of years ago, but as the climate dried up in the West, it became sort of more and more restricted to canyon bottoms where it grows today, and sort of little valley floors along streams, seeps, and springs, where it's moist enough for it to grow, because it needs a moist environment. That's why it's sort of so rare today in its ecosystem, but it is more isolated. So thankfully, as it has a smaller range, and they're just so big, it was spared from logging a lot more than coast redwood, which 90% of the original old growth forests of coast redwood sadly have been logged, and a lot less so for this species. So it's magnificent. This is the older one. I believe is planted around 1900. At least that's what I read. It's a Sequoia gigantea. It should say Sequoiadendron gigantea, but actually, for all I know, it's just planted here. I think when this was classified in the genus Sequoia along with the coast redwood, and then they moved it to its own genus after discovering some differences. Look at this tree literally growing in here. That is insane. Look at that. It's growing in the Sequoia. And this Sequoia is just crazy because it's got 3 massive trunks on it. This thing is big, at least by DC standards. And like literally right here next to the Senate, which is pretty crazy. But just beautiful. You can see that. Let's go over here and take a look at it. So again, just a magnificent tree all around, and I love giant sequoias. They're some of my favorite trees, and like I said, they're fairly rare around here. There's a good number of them I know about, but they're still very rare trees for the DC area and really in the East Coast generally. Look at that magnificent giant sequoia. That's just a huge tree. So let's sort of get that in the shot there. And yeah, so this is here on the U.S. Capitol grounds on the west side of the Capitol. So that's east right there that way. So the Capitol, if you guys don't know, DC is like basically like almost a diamond with the river forming one of the borders, and then the rest just being straight borders. And it's divided into 4 quadrants, not in the middle. What actually divides the 4 quadrants is the center of the Capitol dome. So the center of that dome right there divides DC into 4 quadrants. So right now I'm like standing in northwest quadrant, and the northeast is like right over there, split like right down the middle. So northeast, so this would be northwest, that would be northeast, that would be southwest, southeast, and this would be southwest here. So it's divided into 4 quadrants by that Capitol dome. And yes, this is on the east, the west side of the Capitol, and just a magnificent tree. You know, giving a little California flair to the U.S. Capitol building, and you know, pretty symbolic. You know, California has a very important role in the U.S. just generally, and in U.S. history also, with like U.S. expansion westward. So, a very striking tree and very important, very symbolic. So, just want to share that with you guys. Magnificent giant sequoia growing here at the United States Capitol, on the United States Capitol grounds, and it's a little arboretum here with lots of beautiful conifers and just beautiful trees generally. Lots of southern magnolia, lots of yucca, lots of other trees, and just a really cool place. So come check this out if you're in the DC area. Obviously the Capitol is one of the main tourist destinations, but yeah, enjoy it, and magnificent. So here's a little view for you, those of you who know that I'm always making videos down there. That's the Smithsonian Castle right there. So you guys know the windmill palm, which is there. That's where it is, right there. So that's the National Mall going all the way down. This is not even the end of it. The Washington Monument there is like the center of the National Mall, and then it ends at the Lincoln Memorial, which you can't quite see from here, but it's like it basically ends on the river. Oh wait, I can see it just past there, that little white dot right there. That's Lincoln Memorial. So it ends at the river, and then those buildings in the distance, those high rises, that's Virginia. So that's Arlington, and then yeah, that's the Smithsonian Castle. So those palms are right over there, and then that scaffolding with the crane, that's the Air and Space Museum, where they're doing all those renovations. So really want to share this with you guys. That's the point of the video, obviously, and you can see it's a species of redwood, and you can see just sort of the red bark on it sort of fissured, and the ones that I saw had huge fire scars. The bark can grow up to like 1.5 to 2 feet thick, which is just insane. Imagine just 2 feet of bark, then plus all those tree rings. Just the trunks are just insane, the girth on them. So hopefully one day, maybe in a couple centuries, if those generations come back here, they'll see a giant sequoia, maybe equivalent to some of those out west, maybe several centuries from now. But that'd be super cool. I mean, the reason none of them are in the east are so big is because they can't grow here. I mean, they do fairly well here, and this one's really thriving. It's just because really because it just takes so long to get to their size that it just you know, none of them have been planted in the east. They were only planted by like settlers. They haven't been planted long enough ago to attain the size they attain in the west. So thanks for watching, folks. Stay tuned for more videos, and take care. Have a good one. This is on the U.S. Capitol grounds, giant sequoias on the U.S. Capitol grounds in Washington, D.C. Take care, folks.